everyone, Camilla here from Decodable Readers Australia. Today I'm going to give you a little teaching tip to help you on your journey. Now, if you have been taking the journey of the science of reading, you'll start really understanding those methodologies like the sound to print and making sure that words are not learnt by whole word memorization, but part to whole. Now today I want to give you this little freebie of the I Can Spell worksheet. What this actually does is transfer the learning of learning words as whole to learning words part to whole, that sound to letter correspondence knowledge. So gone are the days that we do look, say, cover, write, check. That's really a methodology that promotes whole word learning. We actually want to go from word level down to sound level and match those sounds to the letters or the graphemes that represent those sounds. This is your freebie today. It really moves away from that whole word memorization of look, say, cover, write, check, and takes words to the sound to print, breaking words up into individual sounds, matching those sounds to the representing letters, and then putting it back together. So we really promote this 4-step process. Say the word, sound it out, record each sound using letters to the matching sounds in the boxes, then spell the whole word. We're now going to go through a few examples using the activity sheet so that you can see how you can use this activity with multiple levels, whether it's a beginner reader and speller using just the SAT pin, the level 1, 6 sounds and their matching letters, or whether you're working with a level 8 student that has the long vowels. You can actually work across multiple levels with this one activity sheet. So it offers that differentiation. But before we even begin, what I love to tell my students is that they are going to become sound investigators, that they have to investigate those sounds in words, find all the clues, which are the sounds, and then record those sounds using their letter knowledge. So let's get started and show you some samples on our sheet. If I'm working with a level 1 group of students, we would start at that SAT pin level, working from VC, which is vowel consonant, to CVC. So if I was starting very early in the learning process, let's start with VC. I would call out the word it. Everyone say the word it. I would then actually use the word in context just to make sure that they understand the word that they're investigating. So it is a nice day. It. Everyone say it. It. Okay, let's say it really slowly and see how many sounds that we can hear in the word it. 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 So if you've got those students that really enjoy that multisensory, I like to use the arm. So the first sound, it. It. What's our first sound that we can hear? And when I point up here, that really indicates that first sound. What's that beginning sound, first sound that we hear? It's the it. How do we represent it? We represent it with the I, the letter I, and we record it. And I would model this many times as well. Then what's our next sound that we can hear? It is our next sound, and it's represented by the letter T. It. We can slide our finger across and blend those sounds together. It, it. And then we write the word as a whole. We've learnt part and now whole. So we will record that word on our record sheet and then they would all copy. Then we would move to CVC. That's 3 sounds. So we could do the word sat. Let's say the sound sat, or say the word sat. Then let's break it up into its individual sounds really slowly. Sat. We can use the fingers or we can break it up in using our arms. Sat. What's the first sound that we can hear? It's the sound S, represented by the letter S. This gives them practice as well in writing the sounds. Then we can hear at is our middle sound, and I'm just going to go a little bit faster than what I would in a class because I want to show you some of the other levels. So then we would record our word as well. So I'll quickly record it there. Sat. Now let's say the kids have their letter sound knowledge of their most basic alphabet sounds and you're starting to move to digraphs. Digraphs, not to be confused with blends, are 2 letters coming together to make one sound. So for example, we've got it up here, chip. Let's use the word ship. What sounds can we hear? Sh. Now, sh is made by 2 letters, but making 1 sound. So it's important that those letters go into 1 sound box, because good investigators know how to group those letters into sounds. So we've got the sound sh represented by the S and the H. Then we've got I, and then we've got P. So it's important to teach that digraphs are 2 letters coming together to make 1 sound. If we've got the word, for example, the word black, that actually has a blend at the start, or consonant cluster. But as you know from our previous videos, that consonant clusters still have 2 particular sounds, individual sounds. So b, l, a, and our k sound made by CK is a digraph that always happens at the end of a word or a syllable that follows a short vowel. So we've got our k sound made by C and K, black. Now, same thing works with long vowels. If we've got the word, for example, snail, we would say it, we would stretch it out, making sure that they all knew what a snail was. And we've got our sound boxes that were represented in there. Sn, A, represented by A and I together, and that's 1 sound, that's our vowel team. Snail, like that. And you've got up to words that can be up to 6 sounds. So we could do the word stamps. So st, a, stamps. Or you can get even trickier to make sure that you've got some of the digraphs or even a trigraph in there, like the word light. L, I, G, H makes the I sound. Light. So you can see that one little activity sheet can be useful for our CBC level, our kids learning to read and spell at that basic alphabet stage. But this activity can be used for multiple levels when you've got students exploring their vowel teams at more complex word level. This one little activity can really transform your students' knowledge of knowing how words work, that part to whole methodology, knowing that words are broken down into its sounds and then those sounds are mapped to representing letters. And what this activity really does is promote the orthographic mapping of words. That's when the brain is able to process with automaticity those strings of letters, know those sounds coming together to be able to read and speak words. And we really need to get those students to automaticity, not by whole word memorization, by part to whole. And when we look at words, we should see them as parts in the beginning to really understand how our alphabetic principle works. So download your freebie on our free resources on our website. I'll put the link in this post.